The Honda NT1100 and Honda NC750X both showcase Honda's refined dual-clutch technology, but serve different riders. The NT1100 leans into sport touring comfort and long-distance capability, while the NC750X focuses on everyday practicality and efficiency. Their divergent personalities make this head-to-head a study in purpose-built design. The NT1100 and NC750X both wear Honda's ride farther with less effort DNA, but they're built to solve different problems. The NT1100 is a true sport tourer, a wide, comfortable envelope, big weather protection, and the kind of stability that makes long highway days feel normal. Honda's own positioning leans hard into that ultimate sport touring machine brief, with range and touring features as the whole point. The NC750X DCT, on the other hand, is an adventure-styled commuter that's quietly obsessed with efficiency, low stress, and daily practicality, especially the famous integrated storage frunk that changes how you live with the bike. If your riding week is made of errands, traffic, and the occasional weekend escape, the NC behaves like a Swiss Army knife. If your riding dreams are measured in state lines or countries, the NT behaves like a dedicated tool. On paper, the headline difference is displacement, NT1100's 1084cc parallel twin versus the NC's 745cc twin. But the bigger story is how they deliver. The NT's engine is tuned for a broad, sport touring power band, torque everywhere, relaxed passing power, and less need to plan your overtakes. Honda specifically calls out usable torque from idle to redline, which is exactly what you want when you're loaded with luggage and riding into a headwind. The NC's 745cc twin is more about low to mid-range utility than fireworks. Honda's own NC750X brochure language emphasizes smoothness and everyday torque, and that matches the bike's reputation. It's happiest living in the middle of the tack, pulling cleanly without demanding attention. In a back-to-back ride, the NT feels like it has extra gears in its lungs, less effort to maintain pace, less urgency when terrain or traffic gets complicated. Both bikes use Honda's dual-clutch transmission, but the way it fits the mission is different. The NT1100 DCT is about keeping you fresh over long distances. It offers the convenience of full auto plus the satisfaction of manual paddle control when you want to play. And Honda highlights the durability and strength angle, robust gears, direct power transfer. The NC750X DCT leans more urban intelligent. Its 2026 brochure discusses refined shift logic for city and hill situations and highlights customizable modes to tailor its behavior. In practice, that means the NC is the bike you trust to handle stop and go without drama, creeping, rolling, and short bursts of acceleration, while the NT is the bike you trust to manage hours of speed changes without tiring you. Same core technology, different personality. The NC is calm automation for real life, the NT is touring automation that still feels sporty when you ask it to. The NT1100 DCT weighs 547 pounds with fluids and a full tank, while the NC750X DCT weighs 497 pounds, similarly measured. That 50-pound spread shows up everywhere, pushing the bike around the garage, U-turning on a narrow street, catching it on a sloped parking spot. The NC feels noticeably easier to walk at a normal pace and in tight spaces, which is exactly where commuters live. The NT feels more substantial, but that substance pays you back at speed. Big bike calm on the highway, less twitch in crosswinds, more planted confidence when you're carrying luggage. Honda's own NT spec sheet also pairs that weight with sport touring geometry and a long-ish wheelbase that supports stability. So the trade is clean. NC wins ease, NT wins grown-up stability. The NT1100 comes with a 43mm inverted Showa SFF-BP fork and 5.9 inches of travel, plus strong braking hardware, dual 310mm front discs with ABS. The NC750X, by comparison, uses a more conventional 41mm fork with 4.7 inches of travel, and its spec sheet/bike page details a lighter-duty setup aimed at real-world roads rather than high-speed aggression. What does that mean on the road? The NT feels more composed when you're pushing pace on rough back roads. Bigger travel, more control, and braking confidence that matches the bike's ability to carry speed. The NC is still comfortable, but it's tuned to be friendly and efficient, not to chase sport touring lines all day. If your fun road is a short detour on the way home, the NC is plenty. If your fun road is the reason you planned the trip, the NT feels built for it. This is where the NT1100 earns its name. Honda builds it around a sport touring fairing and adjustable windscreen, with the whole front of the bike shaped to reduce fatigue and keep the weather off your chest and shoulders. It also carries a genuinely touring-friendly fuel tank, 5.4 gallons, which supports longer legs between stops. The NC750X's seat height and ergonomics are friendly and accessible, 31.6 inches, and it's comfortable in that everyday upright way. But the wind management and long-range posture simply aren't as dedicated as the NT's. For an hour, both feel good. For 5 hours, the NT feels designed for it. If you judge range purely by tank size, the NT starts with an advantage, 5.4 gallons, versus the NC's 3.7. That matters for touring because it gives you flexibility, choosing stops, skipping expensive stations, riding through long stretches without anxiety. The NC answers back with efficiency as a way of life. Even Honda's own materials and the long-running NC's reputation point to sipping fuel, and the platform is widely known for stretching a modest tank into a surprisingly usable range. So the winner depends on your pattern. The NT has fewer stops because it carries more fuel. The NC has fewer stops because it uses less. For high-speed touring, the NT's bigger tank tends to feel more liberating. For daily use, the NC's efficiency often feels like a superpower. This is the NC750X's signature flex, that integrated 23-liter storage compartment where the tank would normally be. It's not a gimmick, it's the difference between bringing a helmet, groceries, or a camera without adding a top box the first week you own the bike. The NT1100 approaches practicality in the touring way. Its design supports luggage solutions. Honda notes optional detachable saddlebags, and the platform is built around touring utility. In other words, the NC carries life inside the bike, the NT carries life on the bike. If you're commuting, the NC's storage is hard to overstate. If you're touring, the NT's luggage-ready layout makes more sense, especially when your stuff isn't just a helmet, but days of gear. Both machines live in Honda's modern tech world, but the NT1100 typically offers a more touring cockpit experience. Big screen navigation, connection potential, and controls meant for long days when you want everything clean and readable. Honda's NT1100 overview highlights a 6.5-inch Key FT touchscreen with smartphone integration, Apple CarPlay or Android Auto in some markets. The NC750X's brochure leans into Honda Road Sync and rider-focused usability, phone connection, navigation, and the kind of interface upgrades that matter when the bike is your daily transportation. The practical takeaway: the NT's tech feels like a touring command center, the NC's tech feels like a smart commuter's toolkit. If you're choosing one bike as the better all-around motorcycle experience, the one that feels purpose-built for distance, carries speed effortlessly, stays composed when loaded, and keeps you comfortable for the long haul, the NT1100 is the winner. Its larger 1084cc platform, heavier but more stable chassis, touring aerodynamics, longer travel sport touring suspension, and bigger 5.4-gallon tank all stack up in the same direction. Fewer compromises when the ride gets serious. But if your real world is commuting, errands, and budget discipline, and you want the DCT experience wrapped in the most practical day-to-day package, then the NC750X is the smarter buy, especially because that 23-liter integrated storage changes ownership in a way spec sheets can't fully capture.